somebody said, oh, I'm okay. Here we are again. It disconnected the stream, even though I'm still broadcasting. So you leave and you come back and it works. Okay. So yeah, so we're back. I didn't even realize that I got Linode still up here. Okay, so let's see if we still have a connection here. Okay. Really, really frustrating, but okay. You see on Rumble, it doesn't make a new video. It just keeps combining it. On YouTube, when you disconnect, it starts a new video. So it really screws it up on YouTube. Okay, people are coming back in here right now. They finally realize I've not left yet. Okay, so for those on Rumble, there's been no interruption. They just had a brief interruption, but they don't have to leave and come back in again. Only on YouTube does it actually break the video if it's not continuous. So if there's a disruption on the video, it breaks it up into multiple videos. Rumble's lucky? No, Rumble's not lucky. There's like pluses and minuses. So I'm just waiting for people to come back in here, and you can re-ask your question here, since I lost the questions. You hear weird ringtones. I wonder what you're talking about there. Okay, just ask your question here, and I will resume. Anyway, what I was talking about was the case that somebody said, I don't want my kids to be lawyers because because they won't have a job with ChatGPT. And I like thinking about that. It's like, huh? Why specifically lawyers with ChatGPT? That was kind of a strange connection. The fact of the matter is, ChatGPT could take over the work of programmers, radiologists, when it started getting to imaging with GPT-4. Any kind of tech support personnel. Yeah, those people will be affected by ChatGPT, and you will actually lose jobs. Yes, and that's pretty clear. I just was wondering about the specific analysis that this will affect lawyers. No, it will affect all jobs. We actually need to be smarter, because all of the lower level kinds of jobs will be handled by AI. It's true. This is actually going to happen. What motivated Elon to let OpenAI slip from his grasp? Did it slip from his grasp because of his motivation, or because Microsoft put money in? Because the OpenAI people probably got greedy, and Microsoft said, we want to give you money, and Elon said, wait a minute, uh, I built OpenAI so that it's open source and humanity can take advantage of it. And Microsoft said, no, we want to be controlling this thing. And yeah, so I guess Elon is going to create his own AI. He already has the AI in the car. So AI is not something new in that sense. And there will be like, miniature versions of ChatGPT. And let me just explain this to you. It takes billions of dollars to train an AI as large as ChatGPT, right? You need to train it with tons and tons of data. But once the model is created, the actual model that contains the learned data is actually smaller. So the rule set, or the way that the language analyzes the content, is actually contained in a smaller set after it learned it. So then somebody could be selling pieces of a ChatGPT like thing without having to teach it anything. Now, of course, it won't learn anything new because it's already learned in the past. This is what Amazon and many other companies want to market, like a simplified version of a ChatGPT type learned neural net, and take that data, it's all based on probabilities of various things, and then put that in a small package and then sell it to you as a service on Amazon AWS. So that's one of the things that they're talking about. And a simple model like that even includes just the base capability of ChatGPT could in fact already do stuff that can handle tech support. So there are already some capabilities already built in, even with that kind of simplified functionality, and that's what is gonna bring the cost down of AI, so that it doesn't have to all be as learned as a continuously learning GPT-4. For example, GPT-4 has, I forget, 20 or 30 times the data of ChatGPT, and that's all in what, a year? Wow. So YouTube is killing YouTube revamped application. Revanced, is that another application? I'm not sure what that is. Bad actors are definitely messing with your stream or Rumble. YouTube is much better. No, I'm on Starlink. It's really, really bad because Starlink isn't made for live streaming. Something is messing with my internet on my normal internet, and I'm sure right after this live stream my internet will be just fine. So, and it was fine before 8 p.m. At 7:30 the internet was just fine here, and then as I approached 8 p.m. then it started to be bad. But I'll make short videos of everything I've talked about, and this is just our chance to converse, and a chance for me to see what you're all thinking, and then we can use the short videos to pass the message along appropriately in a more organized way that doesn't rely on this bad internet. One thing that happened today that I didn't have a chance to talk about is that the Braxter phone's USA version had some unknown new bug on the update, and another set of phones got bricked. I don't have enough information now. I thought it was, specific phone that had a specific kind of OS on it, but that's certainly not the case, because some of the phones, like mine, I have a Braxter USA and it updated fine, and some did not update correctly and got bricked. So obviously their fix did not do a complete fix. It worked for some, didn't work for all. I don't know why. They're probably working on it right now. The dev team is in the EU, so they're probably up now, responding to it. And yeah, this is when they start work. So hopefully we'll get this resolved, and hopefully I will have enough stock of phones to ship everyone a new phone tomorrow. So this is just, I wish I were the programmer of this, because it's just frustrating to me, because I'm not the programmer, but I'm the one having to respond to this constant failure, and it is really, really embarrassing. So you got an update today on my international version. All is good. Please, if you have a Braxter USA, don't update, please. Please don't update. I didn't even have a way to shut down the update because they were all asleep. Okay, so it just boggles the mind, and it's just yeah. In the end, I'm responsible, because I don't know what to do. I use my own phone. I picked up a Braxter USA, and I had them update me first, and it updated fine, and I had no problem. And then they release the update, and some of you get an issue. So what I'd like to know is those on Braxter USA who did not get an issue. Maybe I should ask that question. You need the power to shut. I do have the power to shut down the updates normally, but to be honest with you, I lost the sucking password. I lost the sucking password, Great Gold, so I'm trying to get it now so that I can stop updates myself. So it's just been so busy. I've been so busy, I haven't had time to coordinate that. But yeah, that's the issue. So anyway, it's very disturbing, and in any case, those who got bricked, I'm going to send you a new phone. So don't be concerned. I'm going to send you a new phone tomorrow. If it's not too many, I mean, I don't have that many phones here. Shit happens, but what is so unique that I can't even, that means that there's some differences that they made that I don't know about. I mean, that's why I used my own Braxter USA phone before I did anything, before I even released it. I said, no, it's got to be tested on me first. So I'm like shocked to see that, in spite of all that, it still fails. So anyway, we got like, let's go till 10. So we got like 15, 16 minutes here. And you can continue to ask questions. AI is already writing code now. AI can write the code now. Some simple code. So that's already scary, for people who want to be programmers. But, to be honest with you, people oversimplify what it takes to do programming. And so a lot of programming had been outsourced, for example, to countries like India. And unfortunately, that's, this is something that people have not actually realized yet, that programming is one thing. Programming requires somebody to do systems design. Somebody needs to have, done a whole systems design before you even do any bit of programming. And many people expect the programmer to do the system design, and most of them don't have that capability, and most of them don't have the ability to have conversations when you have different time zones and all that, because that requires a lot of interaction. So in a way, that is kind of like, telling somebody in India to do programming for you. It's like telling an AI to do something, and the AI doesn't really have the full context and create some code that, may work in its limited understanding, and it may not work well. And that's actually what's happening in a lot of industries right now, that are saying, we want to save money because programmers are expensive. The price of a programmer is very high. Some programmers can make more than doctors. So yeah, I mean, if I wanted to, make money, I can just say stop doing YouTube, and I can just work as a programmer, and I'll definitely make more money than doing this. But to me, this is a mission. So this is very, very agreeable for me to do, because it's a mission for me. I actually believe in this. So it's not just doing projects for money and all that, because even though it's easy for me to do programming, it's not as rewarding as coming here and dealing with all of you and teaching you all this. So I saw units on Amazon today that can read and overwrite codes on card stuff today. Read and overwrite codes on card stuff. I don't know what that means, but talking about AI stuff. Yeah, RWG. It does make you suspicious, doesn't it? I mean, it's almost like a pattern. So, yeah, am I getting a denial of service attack? I can't track that right now while I'm on a live stream, because they can't do denial of service on Starlink. Starlink, you can't be identified on Starlink as an individual. Starlink is, doesn't work like that. So, but yeah, why is my main internet connection, blocked at this exact time? It is something to ask. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on if there's something going on, but it is very interesting pattern. Anything we do here on in tech, it's all patterns. And if you see a pattern and then the pattern repeats, it should make you wonder. Like, I was running the live stream on test mode an hour before. In fact, I was streaming to, I wasn't publishing the stream, but I was streaming continuously without an issue on my internet until I approached 8 p.m. and then suddenly, pow! What's going on? And I haven't even talked about any significant topics related to three-letter agencies. So, yeah. Have you said anything about Elon? No, usually, it's when I say something about three-letter agencies that I might get suspicious about denial of service attacks. Of course they can do that. I mean, how much tech is really needed for them to say, oh, we're going to do a denial of service attack on this particular router, and we're going to find out which router it is because it's the Patriot Act, so we're going to find out where he lives and all that, and find out the specific router and his IP address, and of course they have a history of all that. And even in spite of my using VPNs and all that, there's always a way with the Patriot Act, because you can go, find people in ways from government databases, from your doctor's records, from your credit report, from whatever, from your taxes. There's always a way to find you. So, I mean, it's one thing to be, guarding against an attack from Google, but how do you guard against an attack by the state? You can't. So, in any case, I didn't mention anything about the state today. So, let's see. We got 10 more minutes here, so I'm going to see if there's any more questions. That I missed. Unfortunately, we missed a lot of questions when the broadcast got terminated. So I'm going to look back and see. Okay, I don't see any new questions. Government is Big Brother and they can always find you. Yes. See, that's the problem. By the way, this is why I'm so concerned about this Restrict Act. Somebody actually said, I'm going to bail out of your channel, said this guy. He left a message and I left it there. Because you're backing TikTok, so you're backing China, and therefore I'm gonna bail out of your channel. I mean, Zuck, guys. I mean, you're so small-minded. That's all you can think about is whatever buzzwords some politician gave you, and to be honest, it was Trump that started the strawman thing with China and TikTok. And then everybody just, hey, Trump said it, so it must be right. And if you happen to be on that political side, and the problem is now that we start to examine things without even looking at the data and saying, we need to ban TikTok. This is the most important thing, that we need to do in this country is to ban TikTok. And it's like, oh my gosh, we got to set up a rule, the Restrict Act, which says that we are going to put anyone in jail who stops any of our objectives when we define a risk. That's all it defines, a risk. Not actual action. A risk. So if the Department of Commerce, meaning whoever is the political force controlling that particular agency, decides that something is a risk, not actual, action of, sabotage or whatever, just a risk of it, even just the idea of imagined risk, then they can shut down some particular technology and shut down anybody that supports that technology or talks about it. So they could say, oh they can focus on anything, VPNs, TikTok, it doesn't matter what it is. It's really, really a dangerous rule, because there's no limit to it. It is like another version of the Patriot Act, where they can just go and say, okay, we're going to just define somebody as a risk. They can just say it. You're a risk. And therefore, because you're a risk, and by the way, the risk, fortunately, only involves being involved with China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, Venezuela. So not average, average apps or businesses, but those with any kind of affiliation with those parties. The problem is that if you disagree with them and say, because the China part is the difficult part here, because regardless of what you think of China, the problem is that China is so embedded in our technology that we could shut down. China makes the part for all of your computer. China makes motherboards. China, I mean, my gosh, why did they let it happen like that? Instead of a restrict act, what they should have done is said, let's move the technology away from China and build it our sucking selves. Instead of backing into it and saying, it's a risk, so therefore we're going to go implement laws that puts people in jail for speaking out, and maybe we're only speaking out because the effect on the technology that we use every day may be disrupted in a big way. Because almost everything we use, almost everything on Amazon is from China. China is the biggest supplier of Amazon. All the cheap routers and just about every chip is from China. And why is it from China? Because you can't get it anywhere else. Do I want it to come from China? Hell no. Why did they let this happen? That's what they should focus on, the stupid politicians. Why did they let this happen? Why did they let China build every single Zucke electronics? Nobody builds it in the US anymore. Nobody builds any phone in the US. So Purism decides, okay, we're going to build a phone in the US and we're going to charge you $2,000 for it. Yeah, how's that doing? I didn't tell you, I got my Librem 5. Within like 5 minutes of using it, it already locked up. I can't use it anymore. So, yeah, this is a much bigger problem than just saying, oh, we're going to, shut down technology because of risk from China. China's really the issue. It's not, who cares about Russia, North Korea, or Iran, or Venezuela. They're not relevant here. It's just a China problem because they let it become a problem. And the problem is that there are no alternatives. All the electronics are being made in China. There are no alternatives. Slowly they're changing it, but why did they let that? And you know who started moving stuff to China, guys? The first company that started doing major things in zucking China, it was Apple. In 2007, when they built iPhones in zucking China, that started the whole thing. And then everything is built there now, and now they complain and they blame TikTok and everything. It's a bigger issue than that, because you can't just say it's TikTok, it's everything. And that's the fear. How do you your main source of all electronics, and you're labeling it as an adversary state? I mean, that's pretty zucked up that you would do that when they already hold you by the zucking neck. Too late, people. The Restrict Act isn't the answer. The answer is bring the zucking technology back here. Bring it back here. So just saying, oh, this will solve the problem. We ban TikTok, and then we gain power over China. Yeah, right. Well, just go to your. I mean, I'm looking in front of me here, and I got computer screens here. I got Intel NUCs. I got all these little lights. I got the camera. I got all these different electronics. I got all this, the microphone, and all. What the zuck? I mean, how much of this was built in China? 90%? What choice do I have? It's what I can buy. You didn't give me a choice. This is what I can buy. Nobody makes an alternative. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Maybe certain industries should have been defined as national security kind of industries, and then they restrict those from leaving. But no, you start distributing chips and say, oh, we're going to build chips elsewhere. Fortunately, a lot of the chips are made in Taiwan. But then, let's say, maybe that's the incentive. Maybe that's why China wants to invade Taiwan, because Taiwan is now, one of the biggest chip makers in the world. Okay, so anyway, I'm just letting you know that this Restrict Act is just complete nonsense, because it's like it's like backwardly looking and saying, oh, this somehow identifying something as a risk is we're able to protect national security. It's like, what the zuck? I mean, you're saying you're going to ban TikTok because it's a threat to national security, while every zucking router is built in zucking China. So you're going to let this, this guy that left a comment on my video on Restrict Act say that, hey, I'm going to bail out of Rob Braxman's channel because he supports, he said he backs TikTok. Suck! I don't care about TikTok. But you're like identifying a problem that's not really the problem. It's not really the problem. What is the national security threat of TikTok compared to the security threat that every zucking router is built in zucking China? Every chip, my goodness, I mean, your USB adapters that you can put into your USB-C that can plug in a microphone and headphone, there's a chip in there made in zucking China, 100%. I should care about TikTok? Why should I care about TikTok? It is the are you one of those that are going to tell me that you're going to leave my channel because I'm supposed to focus on TikTok when there's so many big issues? Open my eyes. Yeah, I did. So I installed TikTok. I didn't use TikTok before. I said, okay, let me run TikTok now. So I did. I'm running TikTok on my phone. It's like, stupid app. It is a stupid app. But beyond that, what does it know about me? Sucking nothing. It doesn't know anything about me. What does TikTok know about me? Nothing. What does it learn about me? Nothing. It learned that that when I'm using TikTok, I'm behaving just like all the normal users that don't have a brain. Yeah. It's brainless behavior in TikTok. Yeah, great. So what? It makes teenagers suicidal. Talk about suicidal. I already have a story about that. So I'll tell you the story as a closing here. So before I end the video. So somebody I know, 18-year-old, decided to use their phone to do, I don't know, Instagram, TikTok, who knows what. And said, I'm going to step in front of a train, and then you guys take a video of me in front of the train. And he fiddles around with his phone on the tracks as it's preparing to take a shot, and then the train comes so fast and instant death. Happened a few days ago. And there you go. Somebody who's like, obsessed with all that. It's a serious problem, of course. It's not a TikTok specific thing. It's social media in general. So, okay. So, yeah. So, I just want to focus on real threats here, not imagined ones. So, don't let your politicians decide what are the real threats, because they're not going to say Facebook is a threat or Google's a threat. They're not going to say that to you. Why? Oh, they're American companies, so they're fine. They're fine. TikTok is not an American company. They're spying on you. It's doing key logging and all. I mean, come on, guys. I have it on my phone. What is it sucking key logging? Just tell me what it's key logging. Okay? So let's not invent, like, the app is bad enough. I mean, it is, it's obviously a stupid app and makes you brainless. Yes, that's no argument. But Facebook makes you brainless too. Okay? The boomstick. Yep. The boomstick. So anyway, I want to make sure that you all think intellectually, not blindly based on what people say or emotionally. There is a bigger threat out there with China, big one. But it's not a TikTok isolated issue. It's big. It's the fact that every sucking electronics is made there. That is a big issue, because we don't have a sucking choice. Okay, that's the big issue. And how do you solve that? You can't solve it with banning, because it's too late. We're already reliant on them. We're already reliant on it. We allowed it to happen. So now it's here, and now we're like saying, you're going to ban what? So you're basically, looking at like, oh, let's smash this little ant over here, while the big news is that 90% of our electronics come from sucking China. Oh yeah, ban TikTok. The day after TikTok is banned, I want to see if your life has changed. No, you are going to be so reliant on China the day after, and you're going to be still so zucked. Because you're not thinking about the real problem, and that is that we are reliant on all the... Why the zuck? I was, one of the things I was doing some years back was I was building security cameras for you guys, and I was selling it. And, I built the security cameras, and I was using Raspberry Pis made in China. And I had to buy the different chips and all of the different sensors and all that, all made in fucking China. Every single chip I had to get from Alibaba or Ali whatever net. Okay? What the fuck? Why is that the only source? How did that happen? Where every chip I had to buy, every little speaker, every little wire, were all made in China. What the fuck happened there? AliExpress. Why? That's not the problem. That's huge. And you're all saying, "Oh, wait, we got to worry about TikTok," because politicians say TikTok is the issue. On both sides of the aisle now, they said TikTok is the issue, when it's really a nothing. It's an irritation at most. It's a national security threat. It's a national security threat, TikTok. My goodness, guys. 99% of your sucking chips come from China, and that's not a national security threat? What the fuck are you thinking about? Now, fortunately, the spy devices on your phone come from Qualcomm and Taiwan. Qualcomm in the U.S. and Taiwan, MediaTek. So not everything is made in mainland China. At least some spy devices are made, in the U.S. and in Taiwan, and some may be built in Korea, in South Korea, maybe. Rob, you said the Zuck word? No, it's impossible. I'm sure you misheard that. It's always zucking. So anyway, yeah, that's what it's a real threat, and we should really focus on that. Why is everything from China? That is the threat, and that's a very serious threat, and it should be solved instead of wasting time on things like TikTok. I mean, in terms of level of risk, I mean, you're missing the boat here. Okay, so yeah, don't support this Restrict Act. Please tell your representative in Congress that, and especially in the Senate, this Mark Warner guy and this Hawley guy, they're sucked up. And some of you are saying, well, this guy's Chinese, so of course he's going to support TikTok. Suck. I am not Chinese. Okay, let's just be clear. I am not of Chinese descent, so please. Who cares about that? The issue is, I'm telling you, it is a threat, but not TikTok. It's all of the zucking electronics. That's the real threat. So yes, there's a China threat. It's just not the right one. Did you see the Apple major hack with Jeff? Is that new? I mean, that's how they hacked. They hacked Jeff Bezos, was with a video file. You mean the Zuck word? The Zuck word is the Zuck word. So anyway, so we're out of time. I went over to satisfy the lack of time in the broadcast. So thank you guys for watching. There's a time where I'm not going to be able to do videos, so I'm trying to pile up a backlog of videos that I can use when I can't do a video in real time here. So I'm trying to build a backlog, not a backlog, but a oversupply of videos that I can just release because I have to do some medical procedures, and that will shut me down for a little bit here. So I'm trying to plan for that. So, and when that time happens, I'm not going to be doing any live stream. So, guessing end of May, maybe. So I may not be doing live streams in a big chunk of June, I think. So anyway, I don't know yet, so we'll see what happens. I'm just giving you a heads up here, okay? So I'm fine. My health is fine. There's it's no big deal. So anyway, but it just affects the timing of things, and I hope you keep watching and support this channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later.